Disgraced pop star of yesteryear Gary Glitter was just halfway through his 16-year prison sentence for sexually abusing schoolgirls when he was released last month, and it's been revealed that the sordid singer was treated to some pretty special treatment behind bars, courtesy of the already overburdened NHS. So The Sun has revealed that Glitter received a £15,000 knee replacement in an NHS hospital back in November, despite hundreds of other patients facing a 4-month wait for the same procedure, with the source exposing how he left young female staff disgusted with chilling stories about his offending and, I quote, pervy antics during his 5-day taxpayer-funded hospital stay. So I'm sorry, why on earth are we prioritising NHS care for prison paedophiles like Gary Glitter over ordinary Brits? Well, joining me live in the studio tonight is our culture warrior, the Tory MP, former Vice Chair of the European Research Group and Education Minister, Andrea Jenkyns. Now, Andrea, prompted by this story, I believe that the only sort of treatment you think paedophiles in Britain should receive is chemical castration.
Actually, biological castration. I wish the surgeon's knife had slipped lower, didn't you, Dan, with Glitter? To me, they are the lowest of the low paedophiles, and there's only one thing for them: the chop, and they all go to the knackers yard.
And this does happen in a lot of other countries, doesn't it? This isn't some extreme policy. You know, Ukraine, many states of the US do this, some African
Czech
countries.
Republic as well, yeah. Absolutely.
And do you think it would be popular?
I think so, definitely. And, you know, not only that regarding paedophiles, I'd go a stage further as well. Child killers. There's been far too many, once too many, and I think they should have the lethal injection. They don't deserve to breathe in my books.
No, I think these would be very popular policies, and I have to say, hearing about Glitter, clearly absolutely no remorse. Why on earth should the NHS be operating?
And why should we pay for as British taxpayers? Why should we be paying a penny towards people like this?
Indeed. Now look, after he was outrageously ousted from Downing Street in a globalist anti-democratic coup last summer, the political witch hunt against Boris Johnson's still not over. This privileged committee, of course, will hear evidence tomorrow. And despite insisting in written evidence that he did not intentionally or recklessly mislead Parliament in his statements over Partygate, Johnson's detractors seem determined to drag him down by any means necessary. So, Andrea Jenkyns, as an MP, how disgusted are you by what's going to happen at Westminster tomorrow?
Oh, completely. I mean, let's go back to the Magna Carta. You know, the Englishman should have the right to a fair trial. Boris has not had that. We've seen the chairman of the committee, how she's already made her thoughts clear. She's judge, jury and executioner, and it's just not right. And I'm sure you agree, Dan. How come the left get away with it? Look at Keir Starmer. Look at him having his beer and curry. Boris was in the workplace with his work colleagues, and he got fined. Rishi got fined. Why was there nothing regarding Keir Starmer?
And also Rishi, who's the current Prime Minister. By the way, I don't think Rishi should be facing the privilege of the committee, but what it does show is there is an agenda against Boris. Now, look, you are personally, though, a big supporter of Boris, aren't you? You believe in him. And you like him, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the left and the media just villainise him. And if I can just give you...
What's he like?
Him and Carrie are amazing. Can I just give you an example? Last November, my sister was in a coma, my mum was dying, and Boris and Carrie went to a church. They both lit some candles for my mum and my sister, sent me the picture and prayed for them. I mean, that was wonderful. I've had so much support from them since my mum passed away.
And did you hear from Rishi?
Well, when my mum passed away, I got no letter, I got nothing.
Which maybe does say a lot. Now, look, of course, other big news today. The EIG, you're obviously a former deputy chairperson of the European Research Group, and Mark Francois, the current chairman, has announced that he will vote against Rishi Sunak's Windsor framework, with concerns that it does not give Northern Ireland a veto over EU law. So, Andrea, you're a Spartan, you know, you're a true Brexit believer. Can you tell me now whether you're going to vote for the Stormont break tomorrow?
No, I'm going to vote against, Dan.
So you're going to join Mark Francois?
Oh, completely.
And the DUP?
And the DUP. And, I mean, if you look, we've had Bill Cash, Martin Howe, you know, we've had lawyers poring over this. And This isn't Brexit. This isn't. We're treating Northern Ireland differently, and that's wrong. And I'm sure you'll see some other big beasts of Brexit in that same lobby as us tomorrow.
Well, I was going to say, look, there's going to be a lot of interest, of course, in Boris Johnson tomorrow at the Privileges Committee, but also this vote.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
What's he going to do? Do you have any indication if he will vote against Sunak?
I think watch his space, Dan. But I mean, Boris is Mr. Brexit. I mean, look how he fought hard against all the lefty Remainers in Parliament, including the Speaker at the time in Bercow, to get Brexit. You know, he is our Brexit man. He's the reason we got this majority in Parliament. So I think watch his space, Dan.
So would you say it's impossible to be a true Brexiteer and vote for the Stormont break tomorrow?
Well, I can't put words in other people's mouths, but as a Spartan myself, I mean, I fought for a referendum as well. I had colleagues in the tea room avoiding speaking to me, but, you know, it was worth it because, you know, I'm a Democrat. And
absolutely.
And to me, but Boris got elected at the general election. That's why I've supported him. Brexit was voted for in the referendum, and we should honour democracy.
It was worth it then. It cannot be undermined now. And so
absolutely.
I give huge credit, by the way, to the small number, but who knows, maybe a bigger number of Tory MPs like you tomorrow who will be brave enough to vote against the Stormont break. Because if you were a true Brexiteer, I think you know it's the right thing to do. And I imagine, I know we don't know for sure, but I imagine we will see Boris Johnson vote against this bill, which, of course, sets up the next chapter of Sunak versus Johnson.
I think there may be a good chance.
Yeah, indeed. We will see you tomorrow night. Andrea Jenkyns, our culture warrior, former education minister, thank you so much.